All right, we are live for another RTD live talk, late night talk show, and came across a couple videos that I thought I would share for those that may not have had a chance to have had a chance to see them before, but more importantly, just want to get your thoughts on what's going on with this paranoia of not having enough toilet paper. And I'm trying to actually figure out, why is toilet paper as well as towel paper such a hot commodity to have, more than food, it seems. And so here, as you guys can see, surrounded by a Costco picture of just straight up pandemonium, as far as people just looking to get in there and get everything they can while they still can. So I'm curious to find out if you guys have had any experiences like this, and what it was like, and anything that really stood out as being something that's worthy of telling the community. So with that being the case, welcome to this RT Live Talk late night stream. And so I wanted to actually just share a couple videos and share a couple of articles about some of the things that people are going head over heels for these days to get a hold of. So that being the case, I will not be long this evening. Just want to check in, and more importantly, want to hear from you tonight. And so, as always, if you guys have any stories to share, there's a number beneath me, 313-462-0027. Give me a call. We'd love to hear your stories, or about any other thing else that is of importance to you. We'd love to hear that as well. So we got Buckeyed Willie. So where is this guy at? Assuming you refer to the background. Says, haven't seen anything crazy besides literally all the toilet paper gone in every single store. And so that's amazing to me. It's like, how about the food? Like, you really won't be needing toilet paper if you don't have food running through your system in order to utilize that paper. So, assuming people stocked up on food already. But what is it that actually started the toilet paper craze? I'm curious to find out. Says, Aaron Tang says, just give me UBI and I'll be happy. Okay, so we can talk about the UBI as well, because I believe that once that is rolled out, there'll be no taking it back. And as always, be careful what you wish for, because typically what we all end up getting from the government ends up being something that takes away from something else. So nothing in this world is free. It's going to cost somebody something, whether it's short term or long term. And is it worth it? We can talk about that as well if you guys like to. We got Trevor Williams. Hello, Mike. We got Clint Eastwood. We got low blood pressure. What else? It's causing your hand sucks because you're using your hand sucks. Good point. So we got a call. Let's get to this call and see what's going on. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing? What's your name?
My name is Aisha Payton. I've been watching this channel for a while, and I just want to say I'm calling from Las Vegas. And I won't say what major grocery store that I work for, because I don't want the backlash.
Okay.
But let me just tell you, I just worked a 12-hour day today, and I just woke up from my nap, and I'll be doing it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
I am a cashier, and this morning when we opened our store, literally there was about 200 people waiting outside to get in. The questions that were being asked: where's the toilet paper? Where's the toilet paper? And one thing that you guys have touched on that I really think is amazing that nobody's talking about, but I actually have been talking about, I have a small YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's the supply chain. People, I think, don't realize if there's no product being made, as China shut down and not producing product. For example, the bottle that the shampoo comes in, or the can that the food comes in, it's not going to make it to the warehouse. The warehouse makes it to the smaller grocery chain. So with that being said, I just love your channel, but I'm glad I got through this time. And I'm just saying, TP also, I want to touch on TP. I think it's a great bartering tool. That's what I think people are getting for. And I'm just going to say this. I think hygiene is very important. And I have had people actually tell me they can't grasp the concept of toilet paper. I'm like, come on now. Of course, food, definitely water is important. Water for you can survive without food for a long time.
Yeah.
But come on, you have to keep up with the hygiene.
Yeah.
You have to wipe yourself. It's amazing how many people are actually talking about how they don't wash their hands or they don't wipe. So that being said, I'm going to get off and let you finish. But what's up with toilet paper? I think it's a hot commodity. I think there's, people are a little scared also, but in my eyes, just watching different movies and just common sense, toilet paper can be toilet paper, water, and bullets can be a very hot commodity.
All right. I appreciate you for sharing that.
I work at a grocery store, so I see the flow of what's coming in, what's not coming in.
Right.
So a lot of stuff is not coming in. It is a warehouse issue. It's not coming in. And that has a lot to do. I think you guys were talking a little bit about ports. I think that's an important issue people need to talk about also. Stuff is just not coming into the port.
Right.
And I think people kind of need to wake up a little bit.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. And so what's the name of your YouTube channel?
My name's Aisha Page, Aisha. Page, Page. And the funny thing about it is when I started my YouTube channel, I started as an extreme couponer. And from extreme couponer to buyer, so I sell online. I used to buy stuff and sell to Amazon. I do eBay and I do flipping and stuff like that. And then I branched out to basically going into stores and a lot of stores that are going bankrupt. I would go in there and buy the items and turn around and flip them. So right now I'm just kind of focusing on, I won't say the word, but what's happening. And I just kind of want to make people aware like you guys are, but not to that full extent. But I work at a grocery store. A grocery store is ground zero. You have a bank at a grocery store, most grocery stores. You have your pharmacy, and usually there's a gas station on the premises. So I'm just watching the flow of people, what they're spending, what they're not spending, how food stamps plays a very big factor. A lot of people don't realize. You basically, food stamp starts on the 1st. So next April, if there is a quarantine or a shutdown or as food still comes into the store, how is that going to be affected? A lot of people aren't, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion. Right. A lot of people just really aren't thinking, not necessarily outside the box, but I think it's time to stock up. What can it hurt? If you have an extra couple cans in your house, not a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have the cans in my house so I don't have to go into the grocery store and fight. Like I said this morning, I worked 12 hours. And literally when we opened our store, there was 200 people waiting outside to come into the grocery shop. Okay. We did not have the products on the shelf to facilitate all of them.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Aisha, for calling in, and definitely keep us posted on what's happening out in your neck of the woods. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I definitely will chime in. You guys have a great night tonight.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. All right, man, that's real talk there. And so that's a whole nother conversation there that I didn't really even think about prior to now about, the first of the month, like how important it is that a lot of the people who are on government assistance are dependent upon going to the stores on the first of the month. So there's a good portion of the population, I would imagine, a smaller portion rather, that is not able to go to the store the way that a lot of people right in this picture is now, because they may not have any savings. So they're waiting to the first of the month, and we're only halfway through the month of March, and this March Madness is going on the way right now. So appreciate the call. As always, feel free. Anybody else have any more thoughts or anything you've experienced, let me know. And I want to actually, share with you what inspired this particular background here. And so I'm going to share my screen here. And so I came across this video literally not long ago, and just watching it was it blew my mind as to how serious this is. This is like the epitome of craziness to me, because I'm not sure if I would actually be standing in this line, but I'm gonna play this here, and it's a minute long, and so you guys will get a chance to see how crazy this line at Costco is. And so right now, this thing goes on the side of the building. It goes along the side of the building. It goes out through the parking lot. Then it goes onto the main street. Then it goes around the corner to the back of the building. And then it goes around across the street, down the street. And then it's going to go all the way to the end of this block here. And there's people still waiting in line to get into Costco. And then it's going to turn the corner right here. So you got all these baskets across the street outside the parking lot, and we're going down the street now. Like, this right here to me is crazy. Like, I would not be standing in the end of that line if you add that. It wouldn't be me standing way back there on the main road, because the question is, once you get in there, what will you actually get your hands on? And so that's something that I couldn't do myself, but obviously people were willing to do it. And I'm thinking, like, when you get in the store, what do you actually plan on being able to grab would be the question. But we got another caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. How's it going? Low blood pressure, Corpus Christi, Texas. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, my friend. Good to hear your voice. Give me something. Give me some good news, my friend.
Look at the good news, man. There was a lady, a little town on the other side of the bridge, Portland.
Mm-hmm.
She bought all the toilet paper, trying to sell it out of her van.
Mm-hmm.
The cops told her, hey, you don't have a sales tax ID. You can't be doing that. So she came to my town. She came to Corpus Christi trying to sell toilet paper at Academy.
Uh-huh.
They beat her down and they took all her paper from her.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding you. It was on the news. It was pretty funny. She got what she deserved.
Oh my goodness! So she was selling toilet paper out of the vehicle. So what was she charging? What was her upcharge on those?
I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I was at work, but somebody had told me. We were all laughing about it.
I mean, that's not funny, but it's like taking advantage of it and trying to make a profit off of it. She ended up losing that and probably got a couple of black eyes as a result of that. But that's going wild. That's shopping going wild for sure, man.
Yeah, she got social justice. Oh, I was gonna tell you also. I went to the grocery store,
uh-huh.
and the meat section, like where the ground beef was.
Yeah.
They had like ropes, like those little like ropes that they have like at the theater, so you don't cross. You know, the little rope things.
Yeah.
They said, and I tried to go in there, and the guy come out. He like a big guy. He's like, "Don't come in here. It's closed." But I was waiting to see his butcher knife, but he didn't have a butcher knife. He was just stocking. And Mike,
uh-huh.
Everybody, there was like a line, and everybody was there. They were all a bunch of meat gazers, just staring at the meat, but they couldn't touch it until the guy finished stocking it all up.
Oh my goodness! So yeah, between toilet paper and of course I've witnessed several days myself. The meats are gone instantly. Water is gone. Alcohol is gone. Hand sanitizer is gone. Pasta is going. Rice is. So I've noticed. You walk down the aisles and wherever it's bare, that was a hot item that's gone. And it's good to say those things will not be replenished anytime soon, because as soon as they are replenished, they're going to be gone again. So all the stuff that's left is all the junk food, all the artificial processed crap. That stuff is still on the shelves right now as we speak. Now.
The only thing I saw on the shelf was gluten-free. Nobody wants to touch that crap,
Gluten-free, yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, a lot of broccoli, too. Nobody wants broccoli.
Yeah, but I take some broccoli as opposed to having some artificial sweetener type gluten genetically modified crap. I would take some broccoli any day. So that's just me, man.
Yeah, it's fine. I just laugh, Mike. I go in there. I went to get some bananas.
Uh-huh.
I just walking around laughing at everybody. It's just and everybody looking like you could tell in their eyes. They're like, man, something's happening. And then I bought some silver. I loaded up 400 ounces, at $15.77.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, dude, it went down to 12, but it's unavailable. So and then what do you call it? The markup, the premium.
Premium, yeah.
It's more expensive than when I bought it. When I bought it at under $20.
Yeah.
When it was at $15.77, and now it's over $20. But the spot price at $12.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to wait maybe 2 to 3 weeks depending on who you're sourcing it from. So yeah, so to me personally, $20 silver is still better than not having any. So I'll pay the premium just because I believe in the long-term aspects of it. So it's one of the things where as I mentioned before, the price can go down to $10 an ounce, but yet will you find it at $10? Not likely. So you're gonna still pay 20 plus, and that's just because it's gonna be a breaking of this spot pricing mechanism, which is clearly fraudulent as ever. So, but it's coming, man. I appreciate you calling as always, boss.
It's already here, Mike, and I'm loving every minute of it. All right, Mike. Have a good night.
All right, be good.
All right, man.
Oh man, good stuff. Appreciate the call. So yeah, tonight, I didn't want tonight to be a doom and gloom. The world's coming to an end. I wanted to just try to, find out what's going on out there from you guys. What are you seeing, and what's hot in your area? And so I imagine it's the same thing everywhere else, but everybody's situation is different because if you're out in wherever this area is at, I'm not sure what day this picture was taken on, but it was one of the things where I'm thinking, in that video I just showed a moment ago, wrapped around a corner, around a building, across the street, that's a little bit much to me because, I imagine they're all going for the same thing. And when you go into Costco, apart from everything being in the middle aisles of actual food items and in the very back, I'm sure the people weren't going there for TVs and all the electronic stuff. So, yeah, but I want to get to the next article. It says, my toilet paper in my area, I only got 11 rolls. I'm worried. Conscious Observer says, I am in Sydney, Australia, similar situation. So James Rector says 500 ounces for 9,100 today. So James, if you're able to come up on 500 ounces and it was actually physically there, you didn't came up on a steal for sure. Monetary wealth preservation. So speaking of which, I want to actually share with you an article that's not an article, but actually a video from Australia that I came across today. And this is interesting as well. So this is in the, let me share my screen here. So this is another interesting, this is interesting in and of itself, because here we have Australian shoppers brawl in wild health scare buying spree. And so this one here is another interesting one because these people going full-fledged. Oh, they got a commercial. These people going full-fledged brawl over some toilet paper. So they're going wild over some toilet paper. So I'm going to let this commercial go through and then I'm going to play it. But here's something worth watching. So this is in Australia, it looks like. And we got, you can hear the audio if I can play it. Maybe not. But here we got in the aisles, toilet paper. Like this is the toilet paper row. People pushing, shoving. You're going to see these ladies on the floor right here. Look at her. She's going for that last bundle. And she's going to snatch it. And so all that skirmish and all that fighting for one was like eight, maybe got 16 rolls. 16 rolls of paper in that. So I'm assuming all that was worth it. But once again, unless you didn't have on toilet paper at all, would you be in that predicament in a row fighting for one bundle of toilet paper, to each his own. So yeah, man, what else we got going on? So as always, if you give me a call, I'd love to hear your voice. What else is going on you guys are experiencing? Definitely let me know. Keep me up to date. It says, let me get Alaska Prepper. Says, my local coin shop had nothing to sell today. Very true. Same here. I called, somebody that I deal with, and he said, Mike, I sold out of everything last week. And so once again, he's not expecting nothing right away. And so here's the biggest thing, as I mentioned earlier, if you're a bullion dealer or if you're actually a mint or even in the mining, from the mining side of things, you're not going to be letting it go right now at $12 or 11 or whatever it's going to end up at the end of the week. I'm assuming to cover up some of those losses of all that electronic paper traded crap, it can go even lower. And so imagine $10 silver spot price, but can't nobody source it. And miners literally lock up their vaults and stop letting that stuff loose for basically pennies on a dollar and losing money. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Wisconsin. How you doing?
To give you an update over here.
All right, please do.
In Milwaukee.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. My bullion dealer, as I was going to the doors, it said no bullion left. None. But he did have some half ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah. What was the premium? What was the premium on those half ounces?
The premium wasn't that bad. They were, of course, they know me enough, but the premium wasn't that bad. It was like maybe $2-3 over spot.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and there's still no toilet paper in our grocery stores. Just like napkins or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I went to our sporting goods store.
Mm-hmm.
It was, shotguns being sold, handguns being put on layaway, and ammunition.
Yeah.
Was leaving the shelves.
Yeah.
And it's alarming to see all that. And it's like, gosh, man, I get it, but you're not prepared for a war. But it just shows you that how we are actually scared of each other and societal breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
If people fighting over toilet paper, well, we guarantee they're going to be fighting over, they're going to be shooting, killing over food and clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Whew, yeah, that's real, man. And so, so I've been on the hunt for alcohol the last couple of days myself because all the hand sanitizers is gone. And so looking for alcohol, I couldn't find none until today. And just because I found it, I bought everything on the shelf. I took everything, like it was nothing left. And I was like, I asked the people in the store because it was a quiet store. So I'm like, can I get everything? She's like, sure, take everything. I'm like, bet. Grabbed the whole shelf. So I'm sitting on an abundance of alcohol now. And so, you know, I'm putting together, making my own hand sanitizer at home. So
Yeah.
oh man, but yeah, that's real.
What you can do, you can go to these African shops. I don't know. I know you have them up in where you're at.
Yeah.
And go to their stores and see what they use for cleaning things. They have something called I forgot, Detto. Detto is a good cleaning. You can take a bath with it. You can wash dishes with it. It's almost like Pine Sol, but it's a great sanitizer.
Yeah. So you say Detto?
Detto, yes.
Okay, I ain't never heard of it, so I'll check it out.
TTOL, something like that.
Okay, good deal. I appreciate you for educate me on that one. So I know nothing about that, so I'm gonna check it out.
Not a problem.
All right, my man. Appreciate you.
All right.
I'd be good. Yeah, man. Good stuff there. Always good to hear from the community, and I always learn something new. So I appreciate you for calling in. And so speaking of which, he touched on something I was going to share. And so here's another article on what's happening. This is from, let me see, pull this up on the screen here. And so this says U.S. sales of guns and ammunition soar amid this health scare panic buying. So this panic buying is leading everybody to run out and get some guns and everything else. Was it Gerald Celentes get some gold, some guns, and a getaway plan? And so right now people are focusing on toilet paper, food, ammunition, and guns. And I guess the getaway plan is coming next. But interesting article here. You got people wrapped around a building. I'm not sure where this is at. This is in Culver City, California, on this past Sunday, as of yesterday. It says on the West Coast, long lines of customers were queuing up outside gun stores to stock up on deadly materials as the Martin B. Redding gun shop in Culver City, the queues round the block throughout the weekend. So people were out there trying to get heavy with some lead. It says sales were especially pronounced in North Carolina and Georgia, which experienced a leap of 179% and 169% respectively. Other states with large increases included Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, Illinois, and New York. So at the same time, we had a situation in January, was it in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, where they were looking to pass some laws limiting handguns and all types of guns. And so here's something here. It says, Hyatt said that the type of guns being bought was reflective of the fear prevalent amongst customers. There was almost no interest in hunting rifles. Instead, people were opting for target guns, and there was big demand for AR-15 semi-automatic assault-style rifles. So people want some firepower. People out there looking to get something that can stop a man in his tracks immediately, not just wound him. So, yeah, man, that's what's going on out here. That's what people are looking to get their hands on. It's let me see here. What else we got in the chat? As always, let me know what you guys give me a call. Love to hear your voice. And then won't be on here long. Just want to check in, share that video. For those that might have just came into the chat, I shared a video that inspired this Costco background, and it had to do with a line that went around the corner, down the street, and across the street of people standing outside with these baskets waiting in line. And my thought was, the people who are at the end of the line, what's the chance of you getting anything that will be sufficient for you to actually consider accomplishing your goal and going to Costco that day? Because literally the line had to be several hours. And I'm thinking like Costco, they carry a lot, but they don't carry that much that's going to meet your needs. But that's just my 2 cents there. It says, Jay says, Mike, they're also looking at investment poppies. ARs may be looked at as an asset. Very true. Very true. Lock and load, people. What else we got here? It says, if the government bans AR-15s, then the value of them will rise, much like the machine gun. You can't get a machine gun for less than $30,000 these days. Really? Wow. And so that's another thing. So paying around $30,000 for a machine gun when it will be considered illegal, like, would that be a good investment? because if they were to ban them outright or say that any gun, any whatever they want to throw out there to prohibit the public from having that type of firepower, if you were to get caught with one, it's going to be excessive fines, jail times. So would it be worth dropping $30K if you were looking to go out and purchase one at this current point? That was something that, $30K is, a little much. And so, yeah, okay. And then you're going to need bullets and everything else. It says, don't worry about inflation. We're going through deflation for 6 months to a year. I don't doubt it. But then again, we're going to have the Federal Reserve being extremely accommodative, which is going to be it'll be very challenging for some of that accommodation to not spew out into the main economy, causing everyday goods to go up in the midst of a crisis when it comes to a supply crisis. Like if the supply chain is broken, which it is, therefore the shelves aren't replenished the way that they typically are, because we're a just-in-time type of delivery system lifestyle here. Therefore, that's not going to be deflationary at all, because people will be willing to pay a pretty penny for the basic things that they can come upon, more than likely out in the streets in a black market type environment. So, but yet deflationary pressure will be on certain assets for sure, such as I can see the housing market pretty soon, because as of right now, 0% interest rates, a lot of people are going to try to refinance and try to pull some equity out of their house, of course. But then again, I think housing prices will probably end up going down. Therefore, people will not be able to get the type of prices that they want due to the markets being flooded with housing. And so, I think it's going to be certain areas. I see more of stagflation than anything else, me personally. So there's going to be an asset boom in certain categories and a deflationary pressures in other categories. So that might be a prolonged thing that we're in for some time now, because the central bank has done such a great job of extending this bubble economy and all the illusionary net worth assets. Your portfolio, your housing, all your toys have appreciated nominal value when all the things that we depend upon and live upon are going down or have not really increased in that much. So, but we will see. So let me check on the chat. As always, give me a call. I want to find out if there's anything else out there that you guys have noticed when it comes time to this panic buying. And so toilet paper has been leading the way. And the first caller mentioned that it's ground zero. Grocery stores are ground zero. And the first bartering chip for outside of food happens to be toilet paper. And so actually my wife sent me a little meme about somebody making fun of all the people out there getting toilet paper. And so somebody took a picture of a cart full of plungers. And so the meme was like, okay, something about you got all the toilet paper, but I got all the plungers, and you're going to have to come see me one of these days or something like that. But it was a little funny. And so, yeah, I had to laugh at it. Anyway, Alaska Pepper says, there will be a credit freeze when the bond market implodes. Only keep what you need in the bank. Oh, man, that's very true. Credit freeze will come. Oh, man, that is some good stuff. I am in complete agreement with that. I appreciate you for chiming in. We got to connect again, my friend. What else we got here? It says deflation, GM 0% interest for 84 months. Man, here's the thing. Okay, so I came across an article. So right now, Metro Detroit area is the car mecca of this country. And talking to a buddy of mine in the automotive industry, he's concerned. He's actually on the plant floors, and he's concerned because there are no true concerns about their health on the line. And so they formed a health scare task force for the big three here. And so they're going to try to somehow unite as three manufacturing companies and to help provide protection for people on the line. At the same time, I really don't see people in this current moment, as more and more corporations close down. People are not really looking to go out and purchase a new vehicle or to lease a vehicle. So there's going to come a crunch pretty soon with the manufacturing of automobiles, because once again, the concept of getting a new car every year only works in a society that provides easy credit anyway. And so once the credit freezes up, no one will be able to afford a new car per year. And so paper 4, Muhammad says, why are all the people buying all the toilet paper? And so Muhammad, very good question. First person called in and referenced that toilet paper is, it serves multiple purposes. A, for use case, for hygiene purposes, but also as a bartering chip that's relatively easy to move because all you got to do is extend a roll and you can probably get something in exchange of value to you. The similar way I'm assuming a canned good would also be able to be used in a barter type of economy. And so people will be begging for UBI. Yeah. So my personal opinion is that as a part of MMT, modern monetary theory, UBI would be packaged into that. So by the end of this month, after this coordinated effort in making our economy and painting a very dire picture for our economy as all this unwinds, I think that there will be an announcement of some type of official government stimulus. We have politicians out there talking about $1,000 a month for everybody impacted by this current health scare. And so it's only a matter of time before the politicians start really listening to the demands of the people as people are temporarily laid off or whatever it might be. And so the government will come in and try to save the day. But once again, once they always issue something, they can't withdraw it. Name one thing that the government has ever issued as a solution to a problem that they were able to then withdraw from the public. Never happened. Never happened. It says, James Rich says, many people probably remember seeing toilet paper shortages in Venezuela. So you're saying that's how it starts, huh? That is how it starts. It says Reserve Bank of Australia is going to cut a 1/4 point and start QE tomorrow. Really? So basically it's almost 10. Okay. So tomorrow as in Wednesday or as in like right now today, because it's about, 10:30 a.m.-ish your time now. And so, yes, Australia's following suit. All central banks are cutting and stimulating and injecting. That's just the way this thing goes. They're going to ride this out till they can't ride it out anymore. It says Congress had a meeting with all the big crypto exchanges around a month ago, Jekyll Island 2.0. Yeah, so a concerted effort to crash everything at the same time. But one of the problems with crashing everything is that scared money always look for things that are considered somewhat safe, and metals will always be that safe play that people will run to, even in suppressed market like we're seeing now, where silver is obviously nowhere to be found and it will not be available anytime soon, because I'm really thinking that if the price of metals go down further, as far as gold or silver rather, to $10-ish, it sounds good nominally, but yeah, if you will not get it for 10. So it's as good as saying it's $17 to $18 an hour with the higher premium on top of it, because you're going to pay for that silver. All along, the gold to silver ratio will continue to peak at all-time highs never seen before, which says a lot. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello?
Mike.
Hi there.
Mike?
Yes, go ahead. You're on air. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Mike. My name's Kylie. I'm calling from California, Sacramento.
Hi there. What's on your mind? Give me some good news from Sacramento.
The good news is that there's only been a small amount of cases of coronavirus, but the bad news is that there still is nothing in stock, like tissue. All the meats are gone. And I was wondering if you have any advice on safe haven cryptocurrency.
Safe haven cryptocurrencies? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so you say safe haven cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, so right now we're trying to figure out if you think it's a good time to buy options or futures.
Great question there. And so once again, that's more of like that's more of advice. I more so give my opinions. And so unless you are skilled and you're knowledgeable in that type of speculation there, I would say, do what you feel is best. But as far as a safety hedge or safety place, I don't think, safety will be found in cryptocurrencies outright. I think there's opportunity, but I would say safety. That's my opinion.
Right.
So unless you have special projects or anything you're familiar with, to me personally, as a hedge against, the current situation we're facing, I'm more comfortable with things you can actually hold in your hands or own outright in your physical possession. So that's just my personal opinion.
Okay. And then what do you think about any alternatives or any stores that you can recommend to get things that you're not able to get typically right now?
Any stores? Great question. At this current moment, we're 2 weeks into this current fiasco. I think every store that provides, food or whatever has probably been ran through. So I'm not sure of anything off the top of my head that has not probably already been thought of and ransacked already. So I'll pose that question to the audience and perhaps they may have an idea. But once it's out there, it's good to say by tomorrow morning, it may not be the case. So,
right.
But hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Thanks. Enjoy your night.
You too. Bye.
Good call there. Good call there. So safety hedges, cryptocurrency and safety. I wouldn't put those, me personally, I wouldn't put those two words together, safety, cryptos, because at this current moment, it's still speculative. It's a gamble. I do think that it's going to go up by default just because everything else that has, property or everything that has monetary properties will go up as a result of all this craziness going on. So they will go up, but I think some will win, some will lose, but I wouldn't put those words together, me personally, but appreciate the call. And so Tony Blaylock, is that a recommendation there for a store? I'm not sure. I never heard of Ranch 99, but let me know if that's a recommendation that you have for the caller. Home Depot has water. Chinese stores, Ranch 99 is fully stocked. So Ranch 99. Okay, Sacramento. So that sounds like some options there. And so we'll see if Ranch 99 is still stocked by the end of this week or tomorrow. Says dollar is stronger right now than anything because people need to buy essentials. I am 76U. The dollar is strong in the way that we relate or the way we label it as strong because it still is the reserve currency, and every other currency that's that's in that same basket of currencies that determine who's stronger than the other one is going belly up right now. So the dollar will be the head honcho until it's not. But then that's not the strength of the dollar is not really my primary focus. It's more so what can you get, what can you purchase with the dollar right now in comparison to 5 or 10 years from now. And I think that that's where a lot of people will lose out because with all this easing and stimulating, you only will have more competition, allowing you to purchase less. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Jose.
Jose,
yeah.
How you doing, my friend? Give me some good news.
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. I've been following you for a while. Just want to give my 2 thoughts on what I see going on.
Yeah, please do.
I think we all saw this where the market was just euphoric, right? And I was just looking at it like, how much higher can it go? And I think we all, the ones who were preparing for something like this, we sort of knew this was coming, but not in this magnitude.
Right.
I think.
Right. I agree. Yeah. And so, we could have never predicted that. I would have never even imagined that it would have been all this chaos would be due to a health scare that originated out east and made its way this way. And it's still early, in my opinion. So we're just starting to see the ripple effects.
Yep. I remember last week, going to the stores, telling everyone, go stock up. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
And here we are, and everyone looked at me like I was, insane. But thoughts on the market as a whole? Where do you think we're headed?
Good point there, man. So I got mixed thoughts because it looks like it appears that the Federal Reserve is being set up to be the fall guy, the fall entity for a collapsing economy. Because you got Trump calling out Jerome Powell and the FOMC and saying, we need help. And there's no other saviors other than just creating all this funny money. And so it looks like they're going to run this thing into the ground. But because every other country around us is also in the same predicament, as a person mentioned, the dollar will be still preferred over those other currencies. So that could buy the Federal Reserve a little time while they're easing. And so I think they might really try to run this thing into the ground, and it might end up going on for longer than I would anticipate it. Because if everybody doing the same thing, it's a uniform event that's happening right now. So they can probably get a year out of this, maybe 2, depending on what the true pin that pops the bubbles that they're still trying to inflate up. So yeah, we'll see.
Man, the dominoes are falling all across the globe, so it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
You had civil unrest. People were uprising. They were protesting, and now you get virus where everyone has to stay home, quarantine.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's not making sense. But man, great talking to you. Great show. Keep it up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All the time.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, be good. Yeah, that's something to consider. And so, as I mentioned earlier with Alan, is that isn't it interesting that just last fall it looked like 2020 was going to start off with global social unrest. Like we had more than 7 to 10 countries where citizens were just pissed with the government. They were in the streets 24/7, burning stuff. South America had issues. The Middle East had some issues. Hong Kong and the Paris was leading the way. And my thought was that by this spring, there would have been some type of social unrest here in the U.S. as well. But now, because of all this, we're being encouraged to not gather in larger gatherings, larger groups than 10. And now national emergency is like one of the things where we're being told to self-quarantine ourselves for our own safety at a time where I'm hearing that this health scare, while it is serious for those that have true health issues already, for those that are relatively healthier, it can be labeled as a flu that can lead to pneumonia that can set you down for a week or so, but it's not necessarily detrimental to your health. But yet it's being considered a global pandemic. And so when the World Health Organization, which happens to be in the same boat as all the IMFs, the Bank of International Settlements, all those created institutions, when they're labeling things as a pandemic after the fact, and all of a sudden now we have the markets responding in a scare tactic way, it seems like this is all a coordinated event that's occurring right now. Now, what's the outcome? I don't know, but it's just like there's no such thing as a coincidence. And I believe that all this is according to somebody's script. And so in the meantime, we're witnessing all types of things that I wouldn't have never imagined. And so the Federal Reserve institution will be 107 years old this year. And man, to think that for the last 100 years, for the last century, we've been duped into thinking that credit and debt in the form and the way it's been given to us is the only way to have an economy. And as Alan mentioned earlier, 3 of the biggest burdens on humanity is taxation, inflation, and the diminishing of purchasing power. And all those are a result of central banking. So, if people really think Trump is that guy that's going to save and make America great again, unless he addressed those 3 things is brought on by the central banking, there is no true recovery of any kind, because we're going to get more of the same. The rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and those in between are those that's listening to the alternative media that's taking steps to preserve their purchasing power by opting out of the digital illusions. And so that's why I've never been a big proponent, and I never preached the importance of diversifying or experimenting with the crypto sector, because I believe that going solely digital is what they want. Now, there's going to be a chance to profit off of that, but is a temporary profiting of Bitcoin and all those things worth 10, 20 years from now being forced to only deal with digital illusions? So it's a trade-off, leave it at that. But anyway, take one more call, then we're going to dial back. I appreciate everybody spending time with me this evening. As always, if you enjoyed the back and forth, don't be afraid to give a video a thumbs up, and anything in this video of interest, feel free to share it with those that have no clue as to what's going on. and we're going to make this the last call this evening. So I appreciate it. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, it's Pete in Colorado.
Pete, how you doing, my friend? How's things in Colorado?
Oh, any better, and I couldn't stand it.
I believe that too. What's going on? You give me some good news, man.
I wanted to reframe the conversation a little bit.
Okay, please do.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
What do you think the worst quarterly decline in GDP ever was?
The worst quarterly decline in GDP ever was. Wow, Pete, you throw something out the box.
Please, I don't want to reframe things.
I would say, okay, so the first thing came to mind, I would say sometime during the Great Depression.
Yeah, that was tied. We had two that were equally bad.
Okay, what's the other one?
Oh, it was in the financial crisis.
Okay, so yeah.
Worst quarterly GDP drops we ever had were 8%.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not old enough to have been around during the Great Depression, but I remember the financial crisis and the tech crisis and all that. What do you think the quarterly decline in GDP will be with the entire world locking down?
Ooh. Okay. So if 8 is tied for the worst, then just say double that. Say 16. Definitely double digits. Double digits for sure. I'm not sure how low it could go, but negative something or another. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, let me keep having fun with this.
Yeah.
The name of your channel, I think, is what was that? Rethinking the Dollar.
Correct.
Yeah. So, to keep playing with this, just to redirect things. Okay, so the entire world is coming to a halt, which is immeasurably worse than, restaurants are still open as the financial crisis is happening.
Yeah.
You also remember, when we go back to the dollar, with our financial system, there is interest owed on every dollar in existence. Now,
Yeah.
So what's happening right now? The problem is not in the stock market; it's in the debt market.
I don't doubt it.
Everything is being liquidated to get dollars. Everything is going down in price right now, and there's no stopping it.
So here's a question for you: how low can it go?
Shoot.
How low can it go? Like, if everybody's liquidating, and so we see metals taking a hit, gold is not really taking that much of a hit. So that's all the ETF that you're trying to trade paper crap. So give me your idea of housing. How low will housing go?
It's going to go down a long way.
Give me a percentage. Give me a ballpark percentage of losses in the housing sector.
Nobody's working. Nobody can pay rent. Nobody can pay their light bill.
Ooh.
How many houses are going to sell right now? What
Zero.
could you sell your house at today? Could they get a loan?
Yeah.
How do you put a price on that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, how do you value a stock?
Very true, especially when the Federal Reserve comes in and buy them all up.
Well, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, that all the young kids, they all are bought into the conventional wisdom that, it's cheap right now. No, stocks are valued based on future earnings. And every company that's not getting bailed out by the government, they're insolvent. Their future earnings are zero.
Man, that's a good point. Man, with that type of analysis and alternative spin on something, we should have you on CNBC tomorrow, my friend. For real. I like how you laid it out.
They signed a petition. I can't go on anymore.
Oh man, I love it. Man, we got to connect again soon, man.
But the one thing I do want to say that I think is important.
Yes, please.
We're in a once-in-a-100-year event.
Okay, I can believe that.
Is gold and silver and all this stuff, stable over thousands of years? Yes, it is. But please, everybody needs to understand that nothing is safe right now. You just have to eat for the next month or two.
Lord willing, month or two.
The price
nothing longer.
The price of everything is going to go down. We don't know what the rules are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to take care of you and your own, and we'll have an idea of what the rules are going to be in a little while. But this is a true panic, and everything goes down in a panic. There's no place to hide.
Yeah. Good point. Man, that's real. That is real in the field. Pete, my friend, as always, I appreciate the back and forth and keeping me on my toes, my friend. Thank you for that.
I always have fun talking with you, Mike. You're doing a good job.
Be good. Oh, man. Good stuff as always. Good stuff as always. So with that being the case, I'm about to acknowledge Mr. Alaska Prepper. I appreciate the love offering for the channel, my friend. It says the last time this market saw fair market value was before they started QE back in 2008. The Dow was around 7,000. That's where I think we're headed as confidence in the market is gone. So that is, man, and so Alaska, that to me personally, that would be fair as ever, like right there. But given the fact that we're 10 years of extreme monetary policy to keep things alive, on top of the need for them to redo at a much greater level the same things that got us in this current mess now, my guess would be as a more realistic level, we would have to go below 7,000. And then that will mean true market value is undiscoverable utilizing this current denominator, utilizing the Federal Reserve note as a measuring standard of value is done, like, because there's already more currency units denominated or called dollars than we are actually aware of that exist in this planet. When what's about to come now in the form of stimulus, we're going to have $35+ trillion debt with no problem if this UBI kicks off, corporation bails outs, and all this bailout stuff just to provide some liquidity in 2 months. So I can imagine that we won't be able to determine what market value is for anything that will be denominated in a unit called the Federal Reserve note. So, yeah, I mean, 7,000, I mean, that might be considered good given the fact that with all the liquidity they're going to bring into existence, I don't think 7,000. I think they're going to definitely price it in some other currency or have to do something because it's not going to end well at all. But I see where you're going with that. So I appreciate you for sharing your insights, my friend, as always. We're going to have to get together soon. So I'm going to actually reach out to you, my friend. I want to get you on the show again. So with that being the case, everybody, it is about a little bit shy of an hour. And so once again, another great episode. I appreciate all the call in and feedback and thoughts and analysis and, eyes from what you guys are experiencing on the ground there. And so IMF is ready for 1 trillion. 1 trillion will not even, 1 trillion is pennies in the bucket for what's needed to kick the can down the road a little further. And they're literally destroying national currencies. There's 180 something, 190 something countries, of which over more than half of them have their own unique currencies. The only thing they can do is destroy them things to keep this thing going. So pretty soon they're going to have to roll out something in the form of an electronic something or another. And that's why I personally believe that the e-dollar is coming. I don't think it's going to be linked or backed by the Fed because the Fed will shoot themselves in the foot. And I think Trump is setting them up directly to point the blame at the Fed for them destroying people's purchasing power. Therefore, a loss of everything that is not something you can outright own or have in your physical possession in some form or fashion. But anyway, for another day, dollar is already electronic, correct. But yet it's electronic in the majority form, the digital units, yes. But yet to this day, if you want to get out of those digital units, you got to get into the paper. And that's where the Federal Reserve notes that we know them as will be looked at as a problem. Because, yeah, like the digital units are only as good as the credit card system that we can scan and put our cards in as a debit or credit and punch in our little key code. So the moment all the credit market freezes up, therefore there goes the digital dollars as well, because that's what they're denominated in. So I think a good portion of the too big to fail banks will be brought under the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve would try to issue currency directly. That's why we have the central bank digital currency talk right now that's being worked on, that will be rolled out as an option, as an alternative, unless, you know, President Trump is the real deal like people think he is. So we're going to find out how real he is if he's literally trying to end the central bank like his favorite president, which he has on his wall, which is Andrew Jackson. So, but anyway, be blessed, be safe, stay prayed up. If you've enjoyed the back and forth, don't be afraid to donate a thumbs up beneath this video here. Share this information. Back at it tomorrow with more live talks. And we'd love to hear from you and what you see going on in your neck of the woods. Other than that, be blessed.